Today I wanted to talk a little bit about imaging and Soundstage. I've made a couple of videos on this before, and I thought I'd take you through the test tracks that I use to demonstrate a system soundstage and imaging capabilities. Now, first thing to note about this is a good soundstage from a good stereo system is going to be fully three-dimensional, which means you're going to hear things from the sides. Sometimes you'll hear things from the rear even. I don't know why everybody goes to 7-channel surround sound when you can have a properly set up 2-channel stereo system and achieve the same effect. Other than it's only good when you're sitting in the sweet spot, I have to admit. You got to have proper speaker setup. You got to have proper speaker positioning. You got to be sitting in a nice equal triangle, otherwise you're not going to get good soundstage and imaging. But anyway, let's get into the test tracks. The first one here is a binaural recording of the Nutcracker, and it's the opening melody that is of interest here. What it does is it starts on the center and makes a complete circle around the back of your head, comes around the right side, and comes around this way. Now, with a good stereo system and a good setup, that's what you're going to hear. With a not so great setup, or if you got something wrong in your positioning, all you're going to hear is a left to right movement of this little melody. So let's go ahead and just start it, and you can hear it first. Okay, that's it. That's the test. So what happens here is it starts there and goes all the way around to the left, continues behind the rear left, comes around the right rear, and comes around to the front. So let's listen one more time, and I'll point as it goes around. Okay, these test tracks I'll leave in the description. There's only 2 I'm going to use. This is the first one. I always run this as my first test to see if I can get a good 3-dimensional soundstage. The other one here is going to be copyright protected, so I might get dinged on that, but that's okay. This is Amused to Death by Roger Waters. And this it's a song that has some talking in it, and the talking is going to be 90 degrees to your left when your setup is correct, not coming out of the left speaker, not behind you, but 90 degrees to the left. And it happens about 2/3 of the way through this song. So I'm going to advance right to about here, and you're going to hear a voice just talking with a little bit of background noise. Now that vocal should be coming from your 90-degree left position. If it sounds like it's kind of washed out and around you, you've got something wrong. If it sounds like it's coming from the left speaker, you also have something wrong. Additionally, right in here, if you really listen closely and you have a good system, you're going to hear a little bit of dialogue that comes from your right rear. Right over your right shoulder. I think that's coming up here, so let's just play it. a little bit of dialogue. It's very faint, and you got to really listen for it. But right in that spot of the recording, that should image to your right rear at about 2/3 around to the back of your head. Again, this is Amused to Death by Roger Waters. I'll link the description of these test tracks. I'll link the test tracks in the description. They're all on YouTube because that's, of course, where I stream from. Anyway, give these a shot with your system and leave in the comments what you think you're hearing. And we'll get some feedback and maybe we can improve your setup a little bit. Thanks.